Hello, web design students. This is Mrs. Bloomquist, and this very short video is going to be a reminder, a refresh or review on defining a local site using Dreamweaver. Remember, we talked about in class that we want to define our local sites so that when we are working on different individual sites, all of the information on the web pages, all of the images are correctly being organized within our site. So this tends to be the one element that students get tripped up on the most. So if you need to, please watch this video as many times as it takes until you're able to kind of work through this process smoothly. I'm going to be going ahead and creating the site from the Apply Your Knowledge section of our book. It starts on page 87 and continues on to page 88. This is the Chamberlain Academy. Now remember, all of the images, all of the text, all of the things for the website we're creating out of the book are coming out of our data files that we downloaded. So you just always want to keep that in mind if we're looking for text or information that we are seeing on the page if we look on page 88. The first step here though is that we want to make sure that we are creating our site correctly. So the first thing we want to do is go up to the Site menu on the application bar. We're going to go ahead and select New Site. And from this new site setup, we're going to go ahead and name our site. And remember that we're going to be putting all of our information in one location, so that's why it's really important to get this naming piece correct. Now, this particular site we're going to go ahead and just call Apply Exercises. And if this is blurry on your screen, I apologize, but that's a good name for this site. Now, the local site folder is the location where Dreamweaver is going to save everything you do that's tied in with this Apply website. So I'm going to go ahead and click the folder to navigate, and I need to select the location on my computer where Dreamweaver is going to go ahead and put this. Now, when I say drive in this context, I don't mean your Google Drive. You're going out to your J Drive, and within there, I'm sure all of you have a web design folder. So within your web design folder, now you're going to go ahead and create your site. I'm taking an additional step here and saving all of the sites that we're creating for our class in this specific folder. So you wouldn't have this additional step that I'm going to do right now. The first thing I need to do is I need to actually create the folder where I want all of this stuff to be saved. So I'm going to just go ahead, a nice simple name is perfect. This is the Apply. So I'm going to open and select. So now you can see the address has changed to the J Drive, and it is now that Apply site. I'm going to go ahead and select my advanced settings in the local information. The other element that's incredibly important is specifying a location for all of the images that you put on your website. It helps so that the Dreamweaver knows where to look for all the files that you're going to be including that are related to images. So again, we're going to browse. The next part is it automatically goes to the last place we selected. So we can see from this drop down that we are in our J Drive, in that web design folder, in our Apply folder. We now need to go ahead and create a folder for our images. And once we have our images all set, we're just going to open that up and go ahead and select it. So our default folder is created. Our site has been created. I'm going to save this. Once it's saved, the nice thing that you can see is that you have a local file that's been specified and the folders have turned green. Once the folders have turned green, you know that this is your current local site, and every single thing that you do in Dreamweaver is going to be saved inside this site. When you're switching between sites, I want to caution you, do not use this drop down to then select folders. What you'll notice if you do it that way is that the folders are yellow, and yellow is bad. You want a green site folder. If you need to go ahead and switch sites, you always go back to Site on the application bar, and then you manage your sites and select whichever site you want to be working in. Once we get going, you'll have multiple sites, and you'll see that in practice. I'm going to go ahead and click the plus just to show you that we don't actually have anything in that images folder, but once you have images, you should see them populate here in your images folder. So if you're having trouble, go ahead and give it a try and pause the recording if you need to as you're working. Good luck!